Welcome to another Echoes and Footprints showcase episode. Today, we showcase instruments as technology, from constraint to creation. Music doesn't just come from inspiration, it comes from conditions. In North America, many of the most influential musical instruments were not designed in labs or conservatories. They were engineered under pressure, under enslavement, segregation, surveillance, and exclusion. For the African diaspora, instruments were never neutral tools. They were technologies of survival, ways to carry rhythm, memory, and community forward when language, land, and freedom were constantly under threat. What emerged was not scarcity, but invention. Not imitation, but adaptation. Not silence, but systems. Part 1. Instruments as memory devices. When drums were banned and gatherings restricted, African rhythmic intelligence didn't disappear. It relocated. The banjo is one of the clearest examples. Often miscast as a rural folk instrument, the banjo was actually an act of reconstruction. Enslaved Africans reassembled African lute logic using gourds, skin, and available materials. Polyrhythms survived in the attack of the strings. Call and response lived in the phrasing. Cyclical time echoed beneath European harmony. The banjo didn't just accompany songs, it stored memory. Even as it was later commercialized and racialized away from its origins, its rhythmic DNA shaped blues, string bands, bluegrass, and country music alike. The instrument remembered, even when the story didn't. Part 2. Compression under constraint. If the banjo was reconstruction, the drum kit was compression. Denied access to large percussion ensembles and communal drumming traditions, Black musicians in places like New Orleans assembled a one-person polyrhythmic engine. Bass drum, snare, cymbals, and hi-hat, often scavenged from military and vaudeville sources, were fused into a single embodied system. This wasn't simplification, it was concentration. Multiple rhythmic voices were coordinated through one body. Swing, shuffle, backbeat, and syncopation emerged as technical solutions to social limits, how to move many rhythms through narrow space. The drum kit didn't replace African drumming traditions, it translated them. Part 3. Technology becomes testimony. The Hammond organ tells a similar story. Originally designed as a cost-saving substitute for pipe organs, it was transformed inside Black churches and juke joints into something entirely different. Drawbars became breath control. Sustained chords became moans and shouts. The organ learned how to testify. Here, technology didn't sterilize spirit, it amplified it. The Hammond collapsed sermon and song, preacher and musician, circuitry and soul into a single act. What mattered wasn't the machine, but who learned how to speak through it. Part 4. Inventing new instruments. By the late 20th century, African American musicians weren't just adapting inherited tools, they were inventing new ones. The turntable became an instrument, capable of rhythm, dialogue, and call and response. Scratching turned records into voices. Samplers allowed fragments of sound to be looped, layered, and recontextualized, echoing ancestral repetition through digital space. Drum machines and sequencers compressed polyrhythm into circuitry. Beatboxing extended the oldest technology of all, the body, into modern performance. Trap hi-hat patterns resurrected African bell logic inside contemporary production. These weren't stylistic novelties. They were reorganizations of power. They reduced the resources needed to make music. They shifted creation from elite institutions to basements, churches, block parties, and clubs. They allowed sound to travel through vinyl grooves, radio waves, and digital files, long after the moment of creation. Part 5. Why this matters. Across this lineage, one truth holds. Technology was never separate from culture. It was culture, rendered portable. These instruments, compressed African polyrhythm into modern systems, preserved communal logic under individual performance, transformed limitation into innovation, carried memory when drums, land, and language were stripped away. They are not accessories to American music. They are its architecture. Every time an instrument was denied, another was invented. Every time expression was constrained, rhythm adapted. Every time power tried to silence sound, technology learned how to remember. The instrument adapted, the system assembled, and the beat remembered. Thank you for listening to this special showcase episode. We hope you enjoyed it, and you'll subscribe to our podcast for similar episodes. In future showcase episodes, we further explore these and other musical styles to understand where the beat has come from and where it's going.